you needed to review your notes, that's why they were there. You were to find information. So I'm sure some people look at them, and some people don't. This one, I want you to open this one. Of course, you can't even close that for you. Okay. So it's been a while since we've done this, so remember, you're going to copy the URL. And then you're going to go back into your Drive. Yeah, apparently I can't. So, 8 in the morning. You can go into your Drive, and if you just search for notebook cover, thank you. If you just search for cover, you'll find it. Because I have all your files. The pink one. It's totally pink. Click on the pink one, then click Control K. Control K will allow you to put that link in. Okay, Control V, and then you link your notebook cover to the circle file. Copy the URL of your circle file. In the cover, click on the circle tab. You get a blue box around the bottom. And then hit Control K. Wait a minute. But you don't have your links in there, they're not clickable. What do you mean? Like you haven't typed in? That one? This one. You have like Circle's note. Or Circle's notebook on your Google Classroom. Did you two in the meet get that link? Why did you get so big? I know, that's what I'm saying. It's so good. It's so good. This is only the, what, 7th time we've done this? Yeah, he's always been together. No, I did. We're going to then open up the notes, DI notes part 1, circles and R's. Did you get it? Does it work? Oh, you can put Okay, we're doing circles and R's. I'm trying to get my Chromebook going so I can actually write on it instead of doing my mouse thing. We all know that that is lovely to read. You don't. We have some definitions, you know circle, you know diameter, you know radius. We can just take the last 3 weeks off. All right. Congruent circles have congruent radii. Central angle is a new word. Chord is a new word. Arc is a new word. Semicircles you probably know. Minor arc, major arc, and adjacent arc. Those are all new words. All right, here are the parts and pieces of a circle. Radius and diameter, you know. Radius goes halfway across. Diameter goes all the way across. Okay. A chord, HM, a chord is any segment that touches the outside of the circle in two places, but does not go through the center. So chord and a radius cannot be the same thing. Chord and a diameter cannot be the same thing. A chord does not go through the center. Okay. A central angle. Oh, that got weird. It's supposed to be angle BOA. Angle B to O to A. It's an angle that's formed in the center. Central angle. It's there, it just went over, so if you want to fix it, go ahead and fix it.
I know. I want the other one off. Otherwise, you got two of me, and that's weird. That's too much, Mrs. Gray.
Shut up. Mrs. Gray, you said that.
He needed to.
You know what?
Like, you were like on fire today. It's not going to make the last 3 weeks better for you, Carson. Okay. All right, so we did central angle. It's an angle that comes out of the center. The next ones there are arcs, and the typing is really bad. That's supposed to be a nice smooth curve. Thanks, Elijah. So it should look more like this with a curve over it. BC with a curve over it. An arc is part of the curve. So arc AB is that curve of the circle. And arc BC is this curve of the circle. So it's part of the circumference. Diameter we talked about. So a minor arc is an arc that's less than half of the circle. Minor to the circle. It's smaller than half. So what do you think a major arc is? It's more than half. A major arc is going to use 3 letters to denote that it's actually going around the correct direction. If we just said, so arc BCH, it goes from B to C to H. So it's that whole distance around. If I just said arc BH, that's not an arc symbol. You wouldn't know, am I supposed to go the long way around or can I go the short way around? So if you want to go the long way around the circle, use 3 letters. It determines your direction. If you're just going the short way, use 2 letters. Questions on that? Okay. All right, we're going to label the parts that go with each thing. What's the diameter in this circle? SR. What symbol goes above it? A line segment, because the diameter is a line segment. Okay, radii, there's multiples here. FB, FR, and FS, and they all get the same symbol. They're all segments, a little straight line above it. What is the center of our circle? F, yes. No symbol because it's just a point. there are several arcs. You don't want to use F when you're talking about arc because we're talking about outside. So there's SB, BR, hello? SR, there's more than that, but we'll stop there. Those are 3 different arcs. One of those was a semicircle. Amber. SR. And if we wanted to go the other way around the circle, we might say SBR. SR is going to the left side, and SBR would be going on the right side. There are multiple central angles. Let's pick one. Alyssa. SFB. That's the one that is marked. Don't forget your angle symbol. And then minor arcs and major arcs. These may be duplicates that we've already written. But the minor arcs are less than halfway around. So we've got SB and BR. And a major arc goes more than halfway. There's a couple options. You could go SRB, or you could go BSR. Both of those go about 3/4 of the way around the circle. All right, any questions there? Fantastic. All right, classified as a major arc, a minor arc, or a semicircle. All right, start with DW. Which category does it go in? Alyssa? Minor. Arc DW. How about arc DWL? Alyssa. Sorry, Amber. DWL. Let's see. How about arc DL? Alyssa. Minor. How about the arc that would go from D to W? Alyssa. But if I go the way around it that I said, it would be a major. I purposely left out the 3rd letter on purposely left it out on purpose. But when we write it, we'll include it. If I want to go the long way around from D to W, it's actually arc DLW. All right, those are all the arcs that started with W. Let's see. LD we did. How about arc LW? Amber. Semicircle. It's LW if I'm talking about going along the bottom. How would I label it if I was talking about going along the top? Alyssa? WDL. Every semicircle has another side. BGW. Okay, I think that's all of them. Minor arc, less than half. Major arc, more than half. Semicircle, exactly half. Okay, circumference, you know this. Circumference is pi times diameter, or pi times 2r, which is just the same as diameter. Okay, what would be the circumference of this circle if it has a radius of 5? Leave it in terms of pi. Ella. 10 pi centimeters. And not squared, not cubed, because it's a line. 10 pi. Okay. How about this one? Circumference if the diameter is 15. Alyssa. 15 pi. Meters. If you ever just need to estimate the distance to make sure it makes sense, just multiply it by 3. I mean, it's not exact because pi is not 3, but this circle is about 45 meters around. Okay. Arc measure, remember arc was part of the curve. So arc measure refers to how much of the curve we're talking about. All the way around the circle is 360 degrees. And then halfway around the circle is 180. Okay. So the nice thing about arc measure is the angles on the inside. If I went all the way around the center on the inside, I would have gone 360 degrees around, right? If I go all the way around the circle on the outside, I'm going around 360 degrees. So these measures from the inside angles to the arcs match. So then this arc here, arc MN, is equal to its angle measure. The arc is measuring 60 degrees because the central angle is 60 degrees. Arc SN is going to be 122 degrees because it's formed by that angle that's 122. Arc SM, we have to do just a little bit of work for. We need to find this missing angle, angle SPM. It's going to equal 360 minus 122 minus 60. 300 minus 122. 200 minus 22. Is that 78? Ella's typing it in for me. 178?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that looks better. So the measure of our arc is then 178 degrees. So 122 plus 60 plus 178 goes all the way around, adds up to 360. That's the relationship between interior angle, no, central angle coming out of the center, and arc measure. Okay. See if you can get these ones. We've got arc ST, arc TL, and arc SL. Yes.
SL is not included. It's the bottom one.
Correct. SL would be the short way around. I got 132, 151, and 77. Now, challenge. What is the measure of arc STL? Ella. It is 283. You just add the measures of the arcs together, just like you would add the two angles together. Any questions on that? Wonderful. Decide how far I want to get. Yeah, we can do arc length too. Okay, so there's a difference between measure of an arc and arc length. Measure of an arc is just like the measure of an angle, and they go hand in hand. Measure of arc, measure of an angle. Arc length is the actual like distance. Like if you unfolded the piece of string and you measured it on a ruler, the actual inches, centimeters, feet. Where arc length is always going to be degrees. Do you remember when we did sectors? Like we were trying to find the area of that sector. We would do 65, don't write this, 65 over 360 times pi r squared. So we would take the part of the area times the whole area and get just the part. Yes, we remember. Yes, good. It's exact same for arc length. You're going to find the portion of the arc that you want and multiply that by the whole arc, otherwise known as circumference. I don't want that tool. I want this tool. So we are going to do 65 over 360, the part of the arc we're interested in, times circumference. Why do I do that backwards? Circumference is pi times diameter. We're taking our whole circumference and cutting it into the part that we're looking for. So 65 over 360 times 16, because that's our diameter. And then we're just going to leave pi at the end. 16 times 65 divided by 360 is 2.8 repeating. So the length of Q to R is 2.8 pi inches. And if we want to know how much that actually was, it'd be approximately 9 inches, just for that little section from Q to R. But we're leaving it in terms of pi. Okay. So far, so good? All righty. I'll find the length of the arc. So they want to know arc SL. Is that long way around or short way around? It's the short way around. If they wanted us to go the long way around, they would have to add another letter. Even if it doesn't attach to anything, they'd have to add another letter. Since they didn't, we're going the short way around. So what is the measure of arc SL? Ella. 169 degrees. And she did 360 minus 191 to get that. So we'll do 169 over 360 times diameter. Sorry, circumference. Part times circumference. So that's just 10. So 169 divided by 360. I got 4.7 when I didn't multiply by the pi. So 4.7 meters is how long it is from S to L. Oh, hey, that's the last slide. So we learned arcs, and they can be measured in two ways. They can be measured with angle measure, like a degree, or they can be measured with a length, like inches or meters. You do have an assignment. It's just like all the others where it's a big one, but you have the ability to do the first 2 pages now if you want to start on it. It's not due till quiz day, which right now I have set as Tuesday, but I don't know if that's when it'll be or not. All right. Any questions? All righty. Stop recording.